Okay, so we're here from NoCoders Office Hours, episode 227. And today it's me, Pablo, replacing Tonia and Cameron, Sam, and Juan, and all the people that help us out with the office hours. And we're going to be covering Bubble questions, bugs, feature requests, basically anything that is Bubble related or Sano related, because we're working a lot with Sano as well these days, is welcome here. And so we're gonna get started. I think Jay was the first one here. So Jay, do you have any questions? Things
I
that we
do.
can. Okay, amazing.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay, so this should be, this is just a simple way to invite users. So the problem is I want, so the person using this, like the person at the keyboard right now is from a company, a certain company. And I don't want them to be able to randomly invite users from any company that is not their company. So this, the domain should match the current user's domain. I tried doing it with a find and replace. That was not working. I tried doing it with contains. I think I need a regex.
Okay, so you want for it to contain the company name. I think it should be working the way it is right now.
It isn't though.
It isn't.
And I know the reason is because I know the reason why. It's because in the data, there is users. Let me go to the types. There's users and they belong to companies, but the companies is a company type, and that looks like this. So the problem is that the company name might be something like Cyberdyne Space Systems or Tyrell Space Corporation. I need to strip out one of the words, but I can't make it just strip out the second word because some companies might have a name like, I don't know, Robert Space Half Space Industries or whatever,
Yeah, and you want to check if it contains one of the words or if it contains the three words or
yeah, I guess there's partly a logic problem here and partly a technology problem. I mean, one option, I guess, is I could put in this table like a nickname for the company that is just the first word of the domain and have it search for that.
I think that might be clever because sometimes I'm guessing it might be the first word or the second word or the third word or a combination. Or maybe even a different one if they want to use a different name or a word for the emails. They might be called Cyberdyne systems, but use only, I don't know, CyberD for the email.
Okay. I mean, I can't imagine that happening. Have you seen that in a current, like where where companies aren't using their own name for the domain? That seems weird.
No, but for example, as with NoCoders, we're using the full thing, but we separate the name. We have Pro and we have NoCoders. So if we check for Pro or we check for NoCoders, it's gonna say that there's not really an exact match. So you would need to search for the two words together. I can imagine us maybe using PNC instead of Pro NoCoders. It's true that I haven't seen it much, but of course I'm not. I don't know. I haven't checked what emails do companies have. But if we wanted to check against all the words, I guess you could maybe split that company, right, with a split by, and then you'll have a list of texts, and you could check if the list of texts contains the input.
Okay, I haven't used split by before, so that's exciting and new. And where
would
this
happen? Yeah,
yes.
You go to the workflow where you were accessing the company name. So what you would do is the opposite thing: current users company name, and then you would split it by and do the contains. So you would start with current users company's company name.
Now we wait.
Yeah, thinking. Classic bubble when you're sharing a screen.
Right. It's been a while. I've forgotten that pain. I don't know why that's coming up. So split by.
Yeah. And then if you click in split by, it appeared for a second over there. You can choose a text separator. So if you just press your space bar, it will separate it by space. Yeah.
Okay.
And now that will result in a list of texts.
I can't even.
So
I mean,
no, you don't need to do. You don't need to do anything else.
Okay.
We'll try, but
okay.
Right
I'm not
now,
convinced that it got that space. Okay, go ahead.
We'll see. Right now you have a list of texts. So now you want to check contains, and then you're gonna check if it contains the input.
Evening.
Hello, Callum. How are you?
All right.
Callum.
Hey, Jay. I'm good. Happy anniversary, Jay.
Anniversary?
It's been a year since we got drunk on.
Has it?
Time.
Has it been like exactly a year? It sure feels like 100.
It was yesterday. It was yesterday, but yeah, it has been since that first fateful night.
Okay, that didn't take.
Vale. Okay, let's check debugging. Let's debug it and see what happens, or let's check if there's a text separator over there.
Let me try that one. I know that I feel like confident that didn't go through. How's Benji?
Oh, he's gone from a little scared war dog to a spoiled little bit, Trevor. Right. Won't stop poking me, asking for treats and cuddles and.
Oh, that's what
I think it might also be because of the lowercase. Maybe you need to lowercase it too. So split by, and then you need to turn them into lowercase. Yeah. So after the split by, before the contains.
Here?
Yeah, so afterwards, instead of contains, click contain. Yeah. There you might need to each item lowercase. Yeah. I really wish we could edit inside the expression without it being removed.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully they'll eventually set that up. Especially when you have like or, and then and. You have a ton of different expressions inside one, and you need to change something in the middle. That's crazy. And now the thing is, yeah, it's true. So right now what's happening is that we're checking also the whole input, and we're gonna definitely want to use regex for that, because right now otherwise we're checking not only the space in between the, how do you say, the I'm gonna check how this is said in English. Wait. At sign, is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
what is it in Spanish?
Arroba.
Ah, okay.
Arroba. So pretty difficult to pronounce for an English-speaking person. Yeah.
Yes.
So we want to use some regex, but it's probably easy to do that. So let me check. Just we're gonna search for that. So I'm thinking. I saw an answer in Stack Overflow. I'm just gonna check if it works. In the meantime, can you let Callum know what we're doing? So he's
up to speed. So yeah. Callum, when an administrator wants to invite users, they should only be able to invite users from their company. So this is, I'm trying to get this ad workflow to strip out, to double check that the domain of the invitee is the same as the domain of the inviter.
Got you. What are you actually building though?
This is a product to help enterprises selling complicated products save, structure, and repurpose knowledge from their subject matter experts' heads.
Nice. What happened to Garden Brain?
You know, it's just withering, not doing much, but spring is just about here. The crocuses are up at my house. So I don't know. It has a social media presence that has continued, but it's kind of like a zombie right now. I haven't done anything with it.
Is the house all fixed and everything, though?
Say again?
Is the house all fixed and everything, though?
No, the house is not good.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
That's all right.
I'm not finding the regex pattern.
I looked for it before I asked you. I tried to find the regex for it and I wasn't successful. And I don't know it well enough. I got to find it, copy it, and paste it.
Yeah, but no. I mean, I'll have to do the same. I've learned it 1,000 times and then I've also forgotten it 1,000 times. I always look it up whenever I need a regex pattern.
Do you have a certain place that you tend to look it up?
Stack Overflow.
Ah.
Always, yeah. So what I'm currently looking for is a regex to select anything between two characters, because we know it's always going to be between the @ sign and the dot, right?
Yeah.
So that should work, but sometimes the regex expressions that are accepted in Bubble are not exactly the same expressions that are accepted outside Bubble. So it gets a little bit tricky.
Well, this one looks like they're taking a slightly different approach, but because you're looking for undefined content in between two defined characters.
Yeah. That is what I am looking for. Okay.
What about, well, that wouldn't work.
I'm trying to find it. So I'm using regexr.com. Yeah. And then you can copy like any regex pattern over there. But let's see if we find one.
When they refer to a token, are they talking about characters or is it they talking about something different?
Where do you see that?
Right here, capturing group one, groups multiple tokens together.
Good question. I don't really know.
This one matches any character in a set. That's not it. And that's the quantifier. Okay.
I mean, you can also, I'm thinking without regex, you can also do it. So you just need to split the email as well, the input, by an @ sign, and then get the first item. No, but then you're also going to need to split it again. So that's gonna be a pain to maintain. I mean, not that much, but it's cleaner with a regex. There must be a regex pattern to do that. Okay, let's give it 3 more minutes. Otherwise, I'll do it outside office hours.
Okay, that's fine. I don't want you to. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. No, but let's see if I find something quickly.
I got to run, but it was nice to see you guys again.
See you later.
Nice seeing you. Okay, so I think I might have it. Let me try a different one. Okay, let's see if this one works. Yep, okay, I have it. I'm going to send it to you, the regex pattern, and then you can add it over there. It's in the chat.
Okay, and where does this get put? In the
So
sort
you're going to have to put contains input emails exactly how you have it, value, but then after value, after the last, over there, you're going to have to check. Oh, you cannot do extract with regex. Then you're going to have to do it in the page, maybe in a hidden group. Yeah. That's weird that you cannot do it there. Hopefully it will be quick. Maybe a hidden input will be, I don't know. We'll see, because I want it to be updated when you click the button add, after you make the change in the input. Hopefully it will.
Okay, so there's a hidden group.
Yeah, so you can choose type of content text. And then you can do data source, the input value. And over there, it is going to let you extract with regex.
Nope. Oh, the value. Okay, and then extract.
And then you can copy the pattern that I sent you in the chat.
Yes. There it is.
Yep. And now we're going to check in the workflow. Hey, great to see you, Christopher.
It still wants more here.
Yeah, you need to check the first item of the list, because even though it's only going to give us one item, it's still going to put it into a list. So
Okay.
we're going to have a list of 1.
Okay. So we're going to call this group regex. Okay. Yep. I am not following it. I don't know why we're doing what we're doing. I'm just having faith that it'll all be clear.
I'll explain to you now. I'll explain to you now. So right now in the workflow, over there, instead of checking if it contains the input, we're going to check if it contains the group, the group text, the text regex.
Okay. Ah. Okay, good, we're blue. Okay. So far, dun, dun, dun. No error yet. It's thinking, it's thinking. And it didn't throw an error, but it didn't. Okay, 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 good. That is amazing.
Okay, so before
Yes,
we move on, I'll explain what happened.
yes,
So basically, instead of checking for the whole input, which was j@cyberdyne.com,
yeah,
you're only getting Cyberdyne in that group.
yes,
And the reason why we're creating that extra group instead of directly using the input is because when you were doing the condition in the workflow, it didn't change you the input value. You needed to change the input value outside the workflow. For some reason, you cannot access the input and then use extract with regex. You weren't getting that option, which is why we're doing this intermediate step to alter the input before checking if the list of texts contains it.
yeah, okay. We're storing it's not really storing a variable, but it's the same idea as storing a variable.
Exactly. You could also do that instead of with a group, you could do it with a custom state.
Yeah, yeah, which is normal and something that most of us are doing all the time. This makes perfect sense. Okay, great. Amazing. Thank you so much. Yay.
You're super welcome. Okay, John, are you there? We can cover the question that you had.
Okay. Do you want me to share my screen and run through?
Yep, that would be awesome.
Right. All right, it's failing there to share the screen. That's a good start. So basically, how do I get up there to the top? Right. So what we have, this is a learning. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
So you're looking at the data types now on there, yeah? Yeah, okay. So basically this is for a learning app. The data type that I'm having the issue with is learnings. All you really need to be aware of that each learning has an answer and a question, and they're both text. What I'm then trying to do in the app is, hold on, it's simply show this group here, which is the question. So that will pick, this is a repeating group, and it will pick a random question from there. And then the answers below, if I show the full list, well, if I do a search for the full list, I can easily do it so that it says if it contains the answer here, then when I click on this button, it goes green. If it doesn't, it goes red. And that's quite simple to do, and to have those randomly sorted. The issue I'm having is I only want to show 4 of these answers, which again, is quite easy to cut the group down to 4, but one of those 4 must be the answer to that question up here. Does that make sense?
Yep, it does.
And I've tried, you can see what I was doing here. I was trying merging 2 lists together, but I cannot get to a randomly, has to be random 4, but one of those 4 must not be random. It must be the answer to the one above. That's where I'm struggling.
So I think here your life would be much easier if you create an answer and a question data type. I normally prefer having a much more data types and make them smaller. Usually the app is more performant and it gives you way more flexibility. If you had a question data type, you just have to link it to the learning for data type, and then you could have a list of answers, and you could choose the 4 answers that you want to show, and you would make sure always that you have the right one in the learning data type.
So there's a reason I didn't want to go down that route, and that is that so if you look at the app, the whole way this is set up is automated. So basically anyone can come in, create their own course, which creates that set of learnings and answers. Each one has all of these different ways of saying it already. It has clues, and it's all based on the way that that data type is set up now. And all I was trying to do was that one more bit, which is this play game here. And as you can see, when they're all in there, then this is Farsi, by the way, this language, and these are written phonetically. Then I can't remember the right answer now. But yeah, you can click on, oh, there's the right answer there. So that works like that. You know, you can see that this works now. That one is correct. I've shown the answer up there. But I just want it to be 4, and I just really, I've got the whole app set up already.
So you really don't want to change the data types. Okay, let's try to make it work with the current data structure. So can you show me what happens when you click the button?
What? Sorry. Oh yeah, when you click this button here, yeah.
Yeah.
So at the moment, it just does that, sets the state to yes, if it matches the question. So that
only
bit's
when the repeating group gain questions, list of learnings, first item, answer. Okay, so each question has a list.
So basically this, when this one here, one of these in this group matches this one here, which would be hidden, then it's yeah, that's it.
Okay. And you're trying to merge 2 lists, I imagine, because you want to get the right one and then 3 different ones. Or how are you doing?
You can basically forget that. That was just, I was just trying so many things. Really, it was just when I have this search for learnings without merging, without anything, it all works great, as you could see there. I was just trying desperately to think of how do I only show 4 in this group, which again, you know, I could just set the group to show 4 rows, but how do I make sure that one of those 4 is that's the bit I'm struggling on.
So can you show me the 2 lists that you're merging?
Oh, sorry, right. Yeah. So
the first one, the search, does it have any constraints? Okay, so you're getting the first answer, the one that is the correct answer, right? And then you are and then you're merging it with. Okay.
I think I gave up on this second bit trying to do it. Really, it just doesn't seem to quite get there.
So have you tried the items until something operator?
No.
If you click more over there.
Where am I clicking? Sorry.
After sorted randomly. So yeah, you need to add something else.
Yeah.
Over there, you can choose items until.
Yeah.
Over there, yeah, and you can say 3. And now if you refresh the page, that's probably going to give you 4 items. It's either going to give you 3 or 4. So let's check.
I think I might have tried that now you said it actually, but let's try. Oh, I'm going to have to, it's a bit long-winded to get through there, but okay, so
so
in this case, it has done it. I think what might have happened now is now I can't do next or something. I don't know if that's luck, if that's fluke though. Do you know what I mean? If it's picking them random, oh, I know what it is. It always puts it first.
Yeah. So what we can do then is instead of doing it all in the same data source thing, we can set 2 different repeating groups that are hidden, and you do the search for 3 items, then the search for the correct item, and then you merge them together and you sort randomly that list. Because what's happening now is that you are getting the first item and sorting it randomly, which doesn't make that much sense. And you're getting another 3 and sorting them randomly, but then you're putting them together and the first item is always on top. You know, what you need to do is get that full list and then sort it randomly. So you need to do it in 2 different repeating groups that won't appear on the screen. And then you merge those 2 lists together. So we can do it together. The way I normally set this up when I need repeating groups that are hidden is that I create a pop-up and then I put the repeating groups inside the pop-up. And that works well because you're never going to show the pop-up. The repeating groups are going to load, which is what you need.
All right, so I'll do a pop-up, yeah?
Yep. And then over there, you're going to create a repeating group with 3 answers that are not the correct one.
Do a search for learnings.
And you want to make sure that these ones are not going to show the correct answer. So those are the 3 that you want to merge with the correct one.
Okay. Hang on, I'm confused, but I got you now. So hold on. Can I just copy that bit up there or not?
Probably. The only thing is that you're gonna have to look for the category. So you have to know in which group has the type category.
Yeah.
How do you name it? How is it named? If you reveal the element in the elements tree, you're gonna be able to see it.
If I reveal what group, sorry, I'm really lost now. What we're doing.
If you go in the repeating group and you down there, so you gotta go down, and
down
you're
here.
gonna have you're gonna see reveal in the elements tree.
Okay.
Over there. So if you click, it's gonna show up there at the left, and so now you know that probably the group game has the type category, right? So if you go to the parent and click group game,
click here.
Check, yeah. So now let's check, does this one have the category? Because I saw that you were filtering by the parent group's category. So I just want to make sure that when you copy the expression, okay, so you're probably sending the group, the category to
I am,
group.
yeah.
Okay. So basically you can copy the expression of the repeating group that you had, and then you paste it in the hidden repeating group, but you're gonna have to change the constraints. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
and then I would just get the first part. You don't need to sort it randomly. So you just need the search for learnings.
just that.
And here is where you're gonna need to change the category ID. You're gonna have to look for the group games category. So you can look for group games. You can type it there. No, but not. Yeah, click again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you probably need to remove again, like click the backspace again. Yeah. Or maybe delete it and add it again. Otherwise, or.
Sandy. Right. All right. Let me just. Right. So category underscore ID. This. Yep.
And now equals the group games category.
Where's the group games category coming from?
Over there, if you click, it's going to offer you the possibility to choose the category.
Oh, okay.
The category,
Yeah.
yeah. And you're probably getting the first item. I don't know how you're setting it up in the workflows, but it's probably, I don't know how it was in the other one, but it's either the category name or the first item. I'm not sure how you're doing it. It's probably the first item instead of category name. Let's let's choose the first. Okay, no, then just choose categories and that's it. Yeah, that's it. You know. Okay, let's see what it's telling you. The error.
Oh, I think it was that.
Okay, maybe unique ID. Perfect.
Yeah.
So now you have a data source search for learnings, but you have done it in the pop-up. And instead of that, just copy that data source, because you have to do it instead of as the pop-up data source, you need to do it as the repeating group data source. So you need to put that repeating group inside the pop-up.
Okay, what am I doing here? Just adding a repeating group.
Yeah, exactly. So you're creating a repeating group that you're never going to show on the screen, but it's gonna you're just gonna use it to store the list. Yeah, that's it. That's enough. Now you can give it a name. You can say repeating group learnings, and you can say incorrect answers, for example.
Okay.
And now you're gonna want to merge that list with the correct answer. So you can do that in another repeating group. So you can copy this repeating group and paste another one down.
Yeah.
And now you're gonna access the. So yeah, now you can say like incorrect plus correct or whatever you want.
Okay.
So over here, what I would do is get the correct answer. I don't know how the search was set up.
Oh, this was it. I don't know how to get the correct answer. That's one of the challenges I've got. Yeah, I was just showing all of the answers, one of which was correct by saying it matched, it matched if it matched this one here. Oh, so the correct answer is here. You could say current sales learnings answer.
Okay, perfect. Then it's easier because you have access to that learning, right?
Yeah. Where's that pop-up thing gone? Okay. Yeah. So this would be.
So what I would do is access the other repeating group to check how you are getting the correct answer. I mean the learning, not the correct answer. The learning that you're showing in the page, you want to access that one.
I'm confused now. So at the moment, it's showing one answer, isn't it? This learnings, this repeating group up here is searching for learnings and showing the first item's answer. It's showing one.
I think that one might be redundant. I'm thinking maybe it would be easier if you give me access to the app and I share my screen while I.
Yeah. Okay. How do I do that?
So you can go to settings.
Yeah.
Then collaboration.
It's
I think the tab number 7.
2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Over there. And then you can invite a user. And the email is Pablo. I'm gonna write it in the chat. Yeah.
Right, okay, you got perfect. That?
Yeah. So now I will be the one sharing a screen, and I'm gonna open the app. before that. Okay, so hopefully you're seeing my screen, right?
Yeah.
I just opened the Cramly app. Will I find it in this page or somewhere else?
Yeah. If you open up the element tree, and then you've got at the bottom there, you've got group game. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And over here we had this repeating group, and then this was also a repeating group, right? Something that maybe would be worth changing is that if this repeating group is always just showing one learning, you could turn this into a group, and that would make it a bit faster, the page. Like repeating groups always take a bit more to load.
Okay.
So you could turn this into a group, and you can do it automatically by choosing replace by another type. So I can do it now for you if you
Go
want.
for it. Yeah.
So now it's gonna say, hey, but here you have a list. But since you know that there's always going to be one, right? Because there should only be one learning, you can choose the first item.
Okay.
And that's it. And now, so you get the question here, and here you have the answer. Perfect. And now what we're gonna do is that in our pop-up, let's just search for hidden. Yeah. We have this one. I'm gonna clear the expression because the pop-up doesn't need to have a data source. What needs to have a data source are the repeating groups. So the first one here we wanted the incorrect answers, right? And here we were going to get the correct answer. But instead of getting the correct answer, we can directly merge the two lists. Okay, so we're gonna say incorrect plus correct.
Yeah.
And what we're gonna do is access the repeating group that has learnings incorrect, the list, and then we're gonna merge it with the group that has the answer that we saw in the page. So let's check what the name was.
Group game at the bottom.
Keep
going. Yes.
Yeah. So this one is repeating group games questions. I'm just gonna call it, group game questions. This one has a learning, perfect. So we're gonna merge it with group. Yeah, group game questions, learnings, answer. And you wouldn't even need the input. Right now it's gonna say, yeah, I cannot do this because we're merging a list with just one answer. So we're probably gonna have to do, oh yeah, it's because it's a list of learnings and we're trying to merge it with an answer. We want to merge it with a learning. But now to do that, we probably need to convert it to list. Okay, so we have one learning, which is in the group. And because we want to merge a list with one learning, it will only let us do it if we convert this individual learning to a list. Okay, so that's the way Babel works. It can only merge lists together. So we cannot merge a list with one value unless you convert that individual value to a list, which is what we're doing here. And now we want to make sure that this only has the incorrect learnings. So actually what we want to do is make sure that this answer is not the group. I think it was called game question. Yeah, the group game questions, learnings, answer. Okay, so we're gonna search for learnings and we're gonna get 3 where the answer is not the correct one. The thing is that here, I think this would make us only get one learning. So you probably want to remove that and search for all their learnings, and then you just check that the answer is not correct. Now, we don't want them all. We want only until item number 3. So we get 3 learnings. Okay. We can do full list because we know there's only going to be 3. So this is not going to load a lot of results. So we're safe. And yeah, that's perfect. So now
but without that category bit, it's not going to make any sense.
Because, okay, so because each learning has
they're all in a category. Yeah, it would need to be in a category because yeah,
okay.
it's not.
Okay, then I'll keep it. I thought category was for something else then, so I'm just gonna keep it like this. Then the thing is that if that is true, over here in group game, we're getting a learning, and we're just checking that the category ID is the parent group's category's unique ID. But we're getting 1 learning all the time. So,
yeah, it's the combination of answers. If they're not in this, they don't come from the same category. You know, you're going to have one category might be capital cities of the world, right? So you've got
okay.
London, Paris, whatever. Another one might be how to say things in Spanish. So when you have these 3 answers, if it says what's the capital of London and it starts saying Ola as one of the possible answers, it doesn't make any sense. You know, the answers need to come from the same category, so that the 3 answers might be London, Paris, Berlin, something like that, rather than. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes total sense. I'm just not sure then if the group games question data source should be this one, because it's always going to display the same learning, right? For one category, it's always going to display the same question. But I guess it's okay. It depends on the data structures of the apps. So if you see that it makes sense, it probably does. So let's try to just sort this list randomly, which is what we were going to do, and then we'll check if it works. So now I'm accessing the repeating group learnings, the incorrect plus the correct list of learnings, and then here is where I'm going to sort it randomly.
Okay.
So yeah, up here. So now if we preview,
okay, take the first one there. Go to the go to basics. Yeah, play game. Top right. Yep. Yeah, go. Right. Okay. So it's put it as number 1 again. Right. So then we want to go. So if you go next, and it could go to another question. I don't know if that's going to work now. Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. And that was a good reason to have here the repeating group instead of the group. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the repeating group because probably what you were doing is with the next, going to the next page of the repeating group, right?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Then that makes total sense. So here we can just do search for learnings. And now when we click next, let's make sure that this is working. Yeah, show next, show next. That was necessary then. So that's a very good example of when to use a repeating group for just one data point. It's when you want to keep changing it with a next button. You can also do it with a normal group, but the repeating group makes it a bit easier. So in this case, it makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so this is working, but the questions have gone, right?
Yeah.
And that is probably because we changed the repeating group here. So we're gonna have to change in the pop-up where we were referring to a group. We're gonna have to refer to a repeating group. Yeah, right. Over here. But that's okay because, oh wait. No, maybe it's still called. Yeah, I think it's still going to be called game questions, but let me check. Yeah, so I'm going to change the name again, repeating group game questions. List of learnings. Yeah, each item's answer. And the answer cannot be like this. Actually, we can do first item's answer. Yeah. And now let's check here. We were referring to this list of learnings. And now we don't need to convert anything to list because it's already a list. Okay. And now,
now you could.
Yeah, let's see what's happening. Let's inspect this. This is giving us a lot of results, which means that over here, the repeating group games questions, list of learnings. To reveal the other element, it's not letting me to do it like this way. Okay, it's because you're only showing one item. So in the pop-up, you need to also show just one item in that list. So here we're merging it with the game questions list of learnings, but we also actually only need to merge it with the first item, which is the one that we are showing.
Okay.
And because it's one item, we do need to convert it to a list. Okay, let's see what's happening now.
Yeah, this is all the stuff. All the things I was having issues with those. I can only get it to. Yeah.
Okay, incorrect plus correct. It's only giving me this. Let's check for the other one. It's interesting because this one is actually getting the items. So they should be merging correctly. But they are not. So yeah, here we have the 3 results that we want, although this one should not be Dale, because that's probably the correct one. And then we're merging it with the first item. I know what's going on. So basically it's taking this list of learnings, it's merging it with this list of learnings, and then it's doing the first item. So we have a list of 3, merging it with a very big list, and then it's merging it with, and then it's turning that list of the merged results into one item, and then converting it to a list. So we need to add an extra step, which is, yeah. We need to access the repeating groups game question list of learnings first item. So for that, we're going to use, instead of an auxiliary repeating group, we're going to use an auxiliary. Well, actually, yeah, actually, we're going to use this repeating group. We're going to say correct. So now here we have one answer, one learning, okay, which is the repeating groups game questions lists of learnings first item converted to list. And now we're gonna have finally, and this one, let's make it like this. This can be one cell, one row. And over here, we're gonna merge the correct one with the incorrect one. Now we're going to sort, but actually we might need to do this in an extra step, which is just not so convenient, but let's see if it works right now. Okay. Check the naming. Here we're gonna say sorted randomly. This is the name of our final repeating group. And now
So I got lost somewhere along the way, but I don't really care as long as it works.
we're gonna if it works, we'll just review it very quickly. Okay, so that you can understand what happened. Okay, for some reason it's not really loading for me. Yeah. Do I need to be logged in or something like this? Probably not, right?
No,
Because,
no, you don't need to.
okay. I didn't really change anything. So, okay, it's working now.
Don't know what happened there, but
Okay, so that's working now, but we're getting 2 times the same answer. Let's see if we also need to refresh this, right?
yes, yeah.
Okay, but now we're only getting 4, which is good. The repeating group showing the list of learnings. Let's see. When we click next, you're showing the next question.
Yeah. I don't think that bit works. Show next of repeating group learning. Yeah, I don't think that bit.
No, this is not going to work. So the thing is that you need to refresh the repeating group in the pop-up, but the pop-up, the repeating group is not really going to be changed because over here you have one category ID, and when you click next, you're not changing the category ID. So the repeating group doesn't have any reason to change, like it's gonna show the same learnings that you had.
Because well, there's a lot more. The category is, there's a lot more in that category than just the 4 that you're showing now. There's no way to, there was whatever there was 20 in that, and that's the whole point, is to try and show another random 4 answers. Because the problem is you're going next and it's not showing the correct answer then on the next one, is it?
If you click next, is it changing something here?
Chitori is the correct, because we've left, at the moment you've got the correct answer there. Chitori is not showing in those 4.
So when we click next, we're showing next over here. And in this
I don't know how to refresh a repeating group. I don't know if you can, or how that works.
So let's inspect this with the debugger. So the thing is that normally with the questions and answers as separate data types, this is super straightforward because the more data types you have, the more flexibility. Okay, this random sorting is working, which is good because now we have the answer as the second, and we only have 4. So I guess we could say that that is progress. But right now, if we look for something that doesn't have, so for example, Chad Becker, this should be refreshed, right?
Yeah. Ideally, I'd like to refresh all of them. And, like we'd like when you first load that, it picks 4 at random. If one of them's correct answer. When you do next, I'd like it to pick another 4 at random. One of them's correct answer.
Yeah.
Ideally, that's what I'd like to happen.
So there's a way that you can do that. I'm gonna tell you now so you can investigate. Okay. But first, let's check what's happening over here. Rust. Yeah, so it's not updating the learnings correct group, but there is a way that you can do it. Okay, so every time you click next, you're gonna need to use an action called display list. Oops. Okay. So you're gonna need to display a list in a repeating group, and you're gonna need to pick the repeating groups that we're using as the auxiliary. No, so just the correct and the incorrect ones. So learnings correct, and then learnings incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah. So now if we go to our pop-up and we get the incorrect ones. Well, first we're gonna want to show next, so change the 2 repeating groups. So those are updated. And then after we are changing this, actually, I don't know if we need to change this one. Probably not. So I'm gonna remove it for now. But after we change the question, we're gonna want to display the list learnings incorrect. So basically what we're doing is refreshing the data source. I'm not sure if it's going to work, okay, because we are trying to refresh to display the same data source that it has, but maybe it does work. Because maybe it caches it, so it's not gonna let us, but yeah, let's try. Otherwise, you could also try to reset the repeating group and then display the list. But sometimes Babel tries to optimize your app. So if you're displaying a list that is already in the repeating group, they won't actually let you do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's probably what's happening right now. Let's see. Yeah, because we're doing Galette and that thing is happening. So it's doing that. I'm wondering. I'm wondering what could be done in this case, because the answers don't have any type of order or something like this. You know, if they had an order, we could use that.
It's frustrating, isn't it? Because it's almost like it seems so simple thing to do, and it really isn't.
It would be super simple with a different data structure. So that's the main issue actually. Like if you were to just add 2 data types with the question and the answer, that would make it super straightforward. And it would
I'd have to redo everything else in the whole app, though. That's my problem. You know.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe you can play here. Trying to make sure that the unique ID is not in the current learnings. So you're gonna Okay, so let's try this. But it's not gonna let me use the is not. Probably gonna have to filter it for it to let me. Yeah, perfect. Okay, let's see if this works. It's a bit of a hack. Yep.
No.
And now you just need to make sure that the answer is in this, but it's
yeah, because it
updating
wasn't.
the
Yeah,
list.
the answer isn't in some of those.
Yeah. You're gonna have an issue probably, which is that maybe like you're not gonna be able to say that always show 4 different ones until you show them all, and then go back to the 4 that you cannot. You're sorting them randomly, so you will get a lot of times the initial ones. But for that, to make sure that they are equally shown, you will need to use something like an order, a number. But as long as they are refreshed, that would be a better result than what we have now. So let's just make sure that we are displaying the correct one. And for that, I'm going to filter this one again. Display list in the correct one. So we're getting repeating groups, games, questions, list of learnings. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. Yeah, maybe if I add like a very simple constraint, maybe it will refresh it. Okay, this doesn't make that much sense. I'm just gonna see if it's refreshing it. It's not showing Dale.
Yeah.
Do step by step. That's the thing. Okay. I think I know what's happening. It's not updating so it's not, so it's showing the next item, but because we cannot access the page, I think, although maybe we can. Let's just do list of learnings. Yeah. Item. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so it's working now.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah. So what I'm doing right now is that when I click next,
Yeah.
I'm updating the two lists in the repeating groups.
Yeah.
So the list with the incorrect, what I'm doing is that I'm doing the same search that we had in the repeating group, but I am filtering it so that the unique ID of the learnings that I get is not in the current repeating group learnings incorrect. So we don't get the same results. Okay. So we're doing this. And then for the correct one, this one was a little bit trickier. What I'm doing is that I'm getting the repeating group list of learnings that is in the group game question. So over here, and because we have been, this shows all the list, okay? It only shows one row and one column, so only one cell, but it's actually getting all the list. The thing is that when we're clicking next, it's just moving to the next page. So what we need to do is get the item of that list that corresponds to a page that we're in. So the repeating group has one parameter, which is page number. We have the list of learnings, we have is loading, but when the repeating group is set to fixed number of cells, that you can actually paginate it and move to the next page, as you're doing here when you do show next. You can also access the page number. So we're getting the item that corresponds to a page number. And we are sending it to the auxiliary group that we're using for the correct answer. Okay. So now, because we're updating the incorrect list and the correct answer that is converted to list, the two lists are being merged and then they're being sorted randomly over here, okay, in this repeating group. And the reason why you're getting 3 sometimes is probably because there are not enough. So probably because you have 7, and then because it's trying to,
Yeah,
so
I understand. That's
a,
okay. Yeah, I can live with that. Yeah. Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. That is very much appreciated. That would have only taken me about 6 years.
Yeah, that was a tricky one. Eh? That was one of the trickiest that I've done with having to set it up with that data structure. But it was a good exercise. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. It's really appreciated. Thank you very much for all the time you've taken to get there.
Yeah, you're very welcome, John. Okay, now I have to go at 7:30 p.m. because I'm based in the Canary Islands, so it's my evening now. But Jay,
you're in the Canary Islands?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It's exciting.
Which one?
I went to Lanzarote for about a month because it's super cold in Spain right now where I was based. So I wanted to go somewhere where I could, not so cold. And it's working. It's working. Over here it's like 25 degrees.
Okay, well, hopefully the sun comes out tomorrow for you then. Have a great evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your help. And it was nice to meet you, John.
And you.
Yeah. You're very welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Have a good one.